Sorry, boys and girls, no theme song today, but welcome to the Ignorance is No
You
Tea
could
podcast.
sing.
Who you want to roll with? Who you want to roll with? Thank you for
Wait, I'll
tuning
get
in.
Jim on. So tell him to sing.
Who's our guest today, Sue? Who's our
Mike
special guest?
Robinson.
Oh, that's a good one. He's been on before.
Yes, he has.
We like him.
Yeah, he's just recovering from, he was in remission for a while, so he's recovering. Jim doesn't answer the phone. Here, I'll send him a where are you?
Where are you, Jim Miller? I know where I'm at. Do you know where your children are? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Remember that?
Yes. Yes. Anyway, you know what? Just let me know when you have time, and maybe you and I could just meet up someplace and sit down and really, kind of sketch this idea out.
Sure.
All right. We can list the pros and the cons and, do all that good stuff. All right. We have no Mike. We have no Jim.
We have a lot going on in New Jersey. There's Jim Miller.
Oh,
Hey,
there
Jim
he is. Yay.
Jim Miller. Hey, Jim Miller.
We were worried about you.
Okay.
Jim, can you hear me? Was that a yes?
Do I have sound?
Yes.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So I saw that somebody's recognizing Scutari for his work with the cannabis industry, and I'm like,
can you hear me?
Anybody recognize
I can't hear
Senator
me.
Scutari?
I can hear you.
Who's going to recognize Senator Scutari? Oh, somebody did.
Heard
They
that?
said,
Hello?
how wonderful is Senator Scutari? Oh, Senator Scutari, you're so wonder,ful. You killed so many of our patients with your stupid laws. Oh, we love you. Thank you for your wheelchair access too, Senator Scutari.
Oh,
Are you
my
kidding
headphones.
me right now?
You know what? I think
This is all because
what? This is all because what?
Senator Scutari is a jerk. That's why.
All right. You know what? Scutari, we give him too much attention. Think about this. Okay. Every time you mention his name, there are people that, watch the show. They don't know who he is, or they don't know how, what his game is. So they go and they look for him, and he gets hits that way. So I would just make him invisible. That's what I do to people when I'm done with them. They become invisible.
are we done with him? We're not done with him.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not done with that.
Why not?
No. Well,
Why? We're going above his head.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't gone above his head, and we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We can do that while going over his head. No, yes, we can. He doesn't know.
Okay.
I totally
Okay,
disagree.
so what do you
We add to what we're doing rather than take away what we're doing. So I agree. We don't need, if just kind of like Scutari's an asshole, he's a dipshit, All right, just saying that without it being at the end of why. Once something's been established, like you're saying, who he is, what the problem is. So we have to reiterate that more for sure.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, you know what? He gets too much of our time. He rents too much space.
Then, okay, I would say, if we replace that time with something constructive, meaning we don't need to be in touch with him that much, but to do overlapping things, like to wait while we're going over his head, nah. No, even if it was just like background work, I don't mean like one plan after another, an action. Just keep investigating his screw-ups that we can use when we are talking about him. Look for new material instead of the same material over and over.
So new material, old material. What is it? Has it done? Nothing.
Well, no, well, I mean, okay, how are we doing? I don't think this one will work, but it'll be a good example with social equity. Well, the big claims we've made. Now, this last year, apparently, there have been some pretty good moves made when that question's asked, and maybe that's even why we're dealing with it at all. But I know it's a stretch, but 4 years ago, when he justified why we didn't have homegirl by saying, but we have the best social equity in our law that any other state has. So he was using that to pivot away from the problem. If that's not true, then even though it took 4 years to find out, that didn't hold water 4 years ago. In other words, you couldn't say 4 years ago, that's bullshit, because you didn't know what's going to happen yet. But I don't know that we're way better than other states. Now that takes some time looking into, and I know things like that. And what's the mortality rate of patients? I don't want to sound like, it sounds wrong if I say I don't want to be the one to do the research, because I'm doing a lot of research and it's taken time away from things I'd really rather be doing at this point in my life. Research, something anybody can do. Me, research, come on. There's way smarter people than me, people that know all about what's going on, at least pretend to be that way. And it's funny because too much of my time's already taken up with this compared to what I want to do at this time in my life. And I see what you're saying. We definitely need to add something else to that takes time away from having to talk about him. There's still a lot of people, like you say, that don't know who he is. Mm-hmm. How are we going to not talk about him then? I mean, how are we going to not talk about him if we're talking and somebody doesn't know who he is?
Okay, how many years has it been?
Has it been what?
That you've been talking about him?
Since 2006.
Okay, so that's 10 years.
Yeah, no, that's
20 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he was our friend then, so that was good talking.
He was never your friend.
Yeah, that's true. But he was playing the role well to get to get to where he could jump off somewhere else.
Right. He's
but I want to follow
New Jersey politician. Yeah. That's what he is. I would not. This is just my opinion, okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I would not give him all the attention that he's been getting. I would back up from him and reach out to others, as we have been doing and we are doing, okay? And make him not that important.
Reach out to others doing what though? I mean, in what context? To do more of the same that's not working, but amplify it. I mean, what we're doing isn't working, or we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
No, it's not working. Right.
So I don't want to just do more of something or doing less of one thing and then replacing it with doing more of something else. But to me, the real big deal is, honestly, if our governor actually did hear about this, where she had that long to think, she would realize this is totally in line with what I believe, what I've said I believe and would like to have happen. And it is simply dealing with him instead of us and saying, the bill should be heard because other senators need to know what's in this bill, and not by word of mouth and by an actual hearing where you do find out from people that come in to testify who know more about some of this stuff than we do. It's sort of like maybe it should be more of a censorship issue. Like it's the information being withheld, and people don't really look at it like that. We're looking at on a good day when it's easy to explain where we are exactly right now, because we're just treading water. I mean, for years,
Yeah.
and you know, doing the same sort of things. And it took us a couple of years to realize that the amount of co-sponsors is not what's going to get it done. I mean, it helps everything else work, but
What's the definition of insanity?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I was just going by that, assuming we were all thinking that, you know, I'm doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. Yeah. That's almost like definition of religion, though, when things aren't working right. You know, keep praying. I keep praying. And my life's for shit.
Don't deflect. Don't deflect. Let's
No.
talk about this.
Okay. What?
I think this is, and again, it's only my opinion. Okay. I think that he's gotten enough attention for the past 20 years, and he has to be viewed as someone that is obstinate, which we already know, and so does everyone that listens to this know. Okay. And he is doing what he wants, you know, for whatever reason, because there's always reasons. And it's a big joke to him. So, you know what? How about the joke is on him? How about so we move off of him? Move off of him.
Nah, it doesn't work out. It really doesn't. It's
okay, how has it worked out since?
Okay.
Tell me how it's worked out.
I will, but let me do it. Let me tell you.
Okay.
It's not always about what he's doing. It's actually all about what he's not doing. Yeah. So talking about something that's not getting done that people can understand has to be attributed to somebody, and he's that somebody. So how do we have that conversation that it's not being brought up for hearing without mentioning his name?
You can mention his name that way.
Well, let's talking about him.
You can't keep beating a drum on him, you know.
Well, but talking about it not being brought up is the only issue for me. You know, I mean, because everybody
but it's not getting
has
brought up. Nobody's listening.
Yeah, so maybe it's the people that aren't listening, like the co-sponsors, we ought to be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I've written all of them. They're not getting back. I mean, I try, but over the last years, trying to find out why, as an example, the three Republican co-sponsors of 1758 have all been asked by constituents to do this, to say, look, you're the party of being the check and balance on the majority party. That's your function, you know, and you're not doing it. Basically, politely asking him to allow Joe Vitelli to post the bills for hearing, just nicely asking him to where we know that you did that and can prove it, you know, like an email.
Why hasn't Joe Vitelli done anything?
Because he does. He wants it. He'll post it.
What's he doing?
He's co-sponsored the bill, and generally,
so where is it?
The co-sponsorship. It's on the paper, I guess. What are you talking about? Where's
okay,
what?
So what's going on with it? Why?
He does post it and gets told to either take it down or it gets taken down, or he just says, "Listen, you know." And that's we did have a Zoom call with him 2 years ago about that, and I actually got him to be kind of short with me when I said, I need to be perfectly clear. What you're saying is you have asked him to post it and he's told you no. You know, I wanted it. In other words, it wasn't being said exactly like that. And I needed to be clear. And Vitelli's reaction was, yes, yes, I have. But kind of like he didn't like me trying to make it really clear, but not for any reason. Maybe I just exasperate people. I don't know. But I kind of felt for him with that, because he really only can do so much. To have a fight with a guy that he's working with on other things, I don't know what that's like, you know. But he convinced me then, because I was thinking he wasn't doing enough.
He's not.
Without saying, well, okay, what should he do? Well, what would you suggest for him to do?
I'm not suggesting anything.
No, but then how do you know he's not doing enough if you can't suggest?
How do you know
something?
he's doing it? He's doing anything. 20 years. 20 years.
If you don't know what,
if we bump up,
hold on. I got to write this down. If you're going to interrupt me, I got to write it down. No, seriously. I got, it's almost like you don't, maybe I'll say something that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to skip by what should he be doing. Like, I don't want to talk about that. We need to know what he should be doing. If we think he should be doing something else and we don't know what it is, that's bullshit. We got to know what it is that we think he should be doing. Otherwise, he's doing.
Where do you get that information from?
No, that's what I'm asking. Where do we get that information from?
Mm-hmm.
How do we ever try? Short of an email that we have possession of for what they've done, how do we ever know anybody that ever says anything to us is true? We don't really then. But we have to assume the best choice of what actually is true. And I remember, I mean, I know I don't know a lot of things. And I find this out like with John O'Brien when I was talking with him, the former head of the CRC, back when. And when he was working with us as we got in touch with institutional settings to find out why they're, where they are on this. And in talking with him over a length of time, he's like, Jim, I can only I got a playbook. I got a rule book that I got to follow. And I'm not the one to change the rule book. I'm the one and I thought, okay, we're all going to say, why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you doing more? As an advocate, people have asked me, why aren't you doing more? It's not working. And I just feel like slapping somebody silly that doesn't understand what advocacy is all about. We all do. But, hey, you know what you should do? I mean, all that over 2 decades of what you should do is other people don't know what we should do. They don't know. And what's scary is to know more than the general public, knowing we know so little about what's really going on. So, yeah, I don't know where the answers are, but I know doing more of the same isn't going to be it. And I have no problem with replacing the onslaught that we'd like to provide for Senator Scutari. I don't mind replacing that with other shit. But when I can't get people interested to doing something I can't do, or I'm not going to take the time to do, I could do, but I'm not going to take time to do it because anybody could do it, is find out the mortality rate of registered patients. That's important. That's really important towards our advocacy. And I can't convince anybody to do it.
Say that again.
What I want is the mortality rate statistics of registered cannabis patients. Cards are not renewed because death, not because they're going in the adult market or not because they can't afford it. And they do have those statistics. They have them. They were made by law to publish them every year, and they would come in a half a year late too. It took a whole half a year after the fact. They weren't like rushing it. But to have the statistics, I look up, I see commercial on TV, a baby dies every 10 minutes from starvation. There was a statistic that led to that. We have a number that we can't say fuck all about. That's this mortality rate statistic. We can't extrapolate it. We don't really have enough information. I've gone so far as to say it could be right around 1,000 per year, and I believe it'd be actually more than that. But I go for the lowest thing, and even that is like 18 registered medical cannabis patients die every week. That's what my estimate is. I mean, my actual low estimate. But you see, to say that is the whole reason we read this list, to make sure it stays at that level, that this is life and death. This is a very important healthcare issue. It's not being treated as such by really anybody. Yeah, I don't like to be all or nothing, so almost nobody. And it's something that's been not done since 2018. I found out nothing was out for 2019. Spent time trying to find out why. It took a while to find out that, well, they don't really have to by law do that anymore. Why? And then who could find out why? Not me. That's important stuff. And, I like doing that way more than still hunting for every little bit of dirt we might find on Scutari. I'd rather be doing stuff like that. But when that happens, I think out of all the advocates that would like this to happen, how many really want to become a better guitar player before they die? Me. No, I don't get to do that when I'm doing this, and then it just gets me all out of the game. I would still say that I like the picture of all those people at Senator Sweeney's office. Was there 28 people in one picture? They went there way back when because of homegrown. And, at Nick Scutari's actual office, he's never had more, Lefty could probably say, a handful of people at best ever there. That's a better place to gather than at the State House, because it's all about him at his office. At the State House, it's about everything. And I think that would be a wise thing to do when it's more into March, and the possibility of not freezing your ass off standing there if it was sunny, or at least not raining or precipitating in any way. And there's no plans for that. It's that would be giving attention to him in quite a way, but it wouldn't be for him that I think we should do that. It's for Governor Sherrill. If something was done at any level that made any level of media exposure, we wouldn't even have to contact her if she saw that, maybe, because there would be help, Governor Sherrill, help signs at Scutari's office. Then get those pictures out there and let that run, but we're not doing that. No, there's no plans. I know I shouldn't be saying, well, the plans, I don't want to make the plans. I just kind of come up with things like that. But when I run it by and I try to find a reason not to, because it's actually having to do something, and that's my lazy factor. I spend as much time trying to find a reason not to do it. But when I can't find a reason to not do it, I figure it's solid, but I just feel really alone here. Somebody should be telling me this, and I guess I'm also losing enthusiasm for all of it. At some point it's like, I don't want to look back and say, what the fuck did I bother with all of that for all of that time? Not all of it, but these last few years.
Jim, you have a remarkable story to tell, and I know your story. Okay. 2 years ago, we talked about perhaps writing a book. Okay.
I'm actually still working on it.
Yeah, I know you're still working on it, but you can't do that. So this is what you got to do. Okay. I'm going to tell you what you got to do.
Let me add.
You make it short. Make it short. Okay. Send it to me. I'll edit the shit out of it. And we get it in something that everybody reads, not Heady, New Jersey.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. Something like, and this may be a stretch that I'm talking about, but something like the Times, something that everybody, something that'll get attention with some real, crazy headlines. Would we have to find somebody, a journalist, to go ahead, and work on this with us? Yeah, we would. But that's an idea I throw out to you.
Well, I like the idea.
It needs more media attention. This is not the media. This is a podcast.
Well,
we don't even know how many people watch this podcast.
I like what you're saying. This is ring in the good bell. First of all, because it wouldn't be me doing it. It would be you looking
Yes.
for what I give you.
Yes.
You see, then it's not like I'm patting myself on the back and tooting my horn and all this. And I have been over the decades in pretty much every publication. I'm sure the New York Times is actually included somewhere. I mean, I wish I had more of that beating my own drum, because I would already know that. I would have clippings and things. I don't save those things. But how many words? I don't mean exact. I mean like something that would be editorial size. That's like 800 words when it's you get a byline or something. It's a guest editorial. I've had a couple of those in the Star Ledger, and they run about 800 words. Letter to the editor is 175, 200. It's almost impossible to say anything that would encompass a really good view of what we're talking about. So, and short is definitely the key. So, I don't really know where the connection would be. I suppose if a journalist or a publication took an interest and thought this would be interesting, and there's enough areas to look for that person where we could probably find something. If this is where it gets to me, the guesswork that's beyond my experiences that I have in doing things like how to go about doing that. So, if you thought you might come up with some ideas on how to send this out, or
I have a bunch of ideas. Bunch of ideas, but I need you to write your story.
Yeah.
And I need it. I want it by next week.
Yeah.
And I want it so that I will be able to edit it. I know where I can put it, and I know how I can get it out there, and to see who will pick it up. What would
be the strong out of all this, because it covers so much ground? If you could give me example, because pretty much what we're talking about. If you could be more specific in what approach you think I should use to chronicle what exactly?
The Jim and Cheryl story.
Yeah, that's
the story. That's the story. And then at the very end,
yeah, the connection.
We do the connect. Okay.
Yeah.
We do the and I'm just throwing this out just to say something. And New Jersey still has no home grow for medically disabled patients.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's that tying the essence, the crux of the story, the foundation of all that, tying it to the current event that we're trying to affect, which is having this freaking bill get heard, and then everything that would come with it after that.
We've already got all this screwiness going on, and right now our guest is a half an hour late, so I don't know what happened to him. But this will be the last time I ask him. However, back to what we're talking about is the Jim and Cheryl story is a story. It's a story. It's a human story. People like to read about other people.
How about this?
What?
How about I write the outline? Yeah, I mean, in other words, just an outline, and then, because I can do that quick enough for you to look at it and say, here, I think this is what you should expound on further.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because otherwise it's long,
Yeah.
So some of it has to be the push, but the other, basically the thing that I could cover three things with 3 commas in one long sentence. And that would be, in a story that would lead to something that's more segmented, opened up. And that's when I would really appreciate somebody else, especially you, doing that, because that I think would give best chance of having somebody's, it's really a fumble on the field that news organizations don't know about, I mean, and they do look for new angles on something like cannabis legalization in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And there's a whole lot of people that are doing nothing right now. So this is prime time to do something like this, to draw the audience back. Okay. But we have to target who our audience is. All right. That'll take me one day. In one day, I can do that. I can figure out who our audience is. You do the outline. We'll go back and forth with it. And we need a target date, because like you, I'm bad unless you keep sending me something on my phone that says you have an appointment with, to remind me, or I'll forget, get tied up in something else, just as you do. Okay.
Oh, I own that field.
Yeah, and I have a trailer there too, But again, let's do it.
Okay.
We have to do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I need, a little of that. I appreciate it. That's how it's done, people.
Lefty just froze you for a minute.
The other one of the other parts of this, though, is how do we lob possibilities that it'll get through to somebody in our governor's sphere, not directly to her, but to somebody that's without actually asking somebody in particular to get in touch. It'd almost be their idea if they knew. The fact that everything to do with getting this bill heard has been easily, summarily dismissed. I don't want to say by who, because he showed right up, to laugh. If somehow our governor could see that really the getting it heard part, she should be able to do. And we, with all the King's forces we haven't been able to get that done. She has a wand she could wave and say, I'd like that to be heard myself. I want to hear what's going to be in the committee to
write the outline,
to make my ass covered. Yeah. I mean, that's
write the outline.
Good. I got something to do then.
Okay.
I am becoming a better guitar player, by the way.
See, and then you could write a song.
Being a good guitar player doesn't mean I could write a song. That's a different animal.
We can have Lefty sing.
Hey, tomorrow, I'll sing this. Tomorrow at Bazooka, we're celebrating 5 years of New Jersey's adult use cannabis.
Oh.
Thank you, Senate President Nick Scutari, for your leadership and support of the industry.
So when is it? It should be April 22nd or something that the bill was signed. Actually, I mean, into law that governor signed it. So is it
Brother Richie's birthday?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It took till then to get signed.
Mm-hmm.
Like 420. It was almost. I think I even now that I'm thinking about it, remember that they missed the 420 time. So.
Okay, and how many presidents have we heard that they were going to, push legalization? How many
presidents?
Mm-hmm.
United States presidents,
mm-hmm.
not Senate presidents. Okay. I haven't heard anybody say they were going to push it. I mean, I was surprised that Bill Clinton didn't have anything to do with extending the IND program that was given to 300 joints a month to the people, that when he wouldn't get involved in that. I spent 2 years actually dealing with people in his administration about that, way easier than I can deal with anybody in New Jersey's own legislature. at least they were playing the game with me, batting it back, and we were back and forth, and even though it probably wasn't genuine, but yeah, yeah, Barry didn't really. I mean, I haven't heard anybody really speak out against it as president, though, have I?
I don't know, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, that long ago. Yeah, I mean, well, wow, he's probably before everybody's time, 3/4 of advocates' time. Yeah, no, actually, I think Nancy was more against it, and Ronnie was, well, okay, let's go that way.
But Zuka is in Elizabeth, yes. And they do have wheelchair access for us. A place in Elizabeth to have wheelchair access is pretty rare. So they do have wheelchair access there. But recognizing Scutari for not having wheelchair access to dispensaries and home grow, I don't think we should recognize him. We should unrecognize him.
Oh, that recognition thing that he got. Yeah, okay. That made me laugh. I didn't even, that didn't get me angry at all. That was kind of funny, That was almost like a FIFA Nobel Prize, though, How do you curry favor with the Senate president?
This thing right here.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's how you curry favor right there.
You know what? I keep getting that I have a message on. I guess I can do it on my phone. I don't know what happened to Mike again. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to ask him again.
Well, I don't disagree. I mean, basically, he should, if something happened, he'd get in touch with you and say, my bad.
I'm easy to find. Let's see. Let me see what's here.
Yeah, he's been posting real regular, and he looks pretty good. He should be fit enough for the
And
show.
he wanted to do this.
Yeah, well, Vin Gopal wanted to have a fucking rally, too, so let's make a sandwich out of that.
Here's your link. I sent him the link an hour ago.
Okay.
I also said,
I like that today was Patient Appreciation Day at Zenleaf. It should be Patient Appreciation Day every day. However, 7/10 is actually Cannabis Patient Appreciation Day, Awareness Day, where we recognize sick and dying and disabled people here in New Jersey, which our industry does not. They recognize the $2 billion that they got for sure. But certainly not people in wheelchairs that can't get into dispensaries. There's people in wheelchairs that are locked out. And some of these dispensaries are in urban enterprise zones. So these people in wheelchairs can't get the same tax breaks as able-bodied people in the urban enterprise zones. There should be a huge lawsuit about this. But I'm just a crazy guy on the soapbox yelling and screaming, but I'm actually right about this, but nobody seems to give a F about it. And that's what really bothers me, that nobody's rallying behind this. Like, hey, you know what? These guys are right. The stuff CM Cross says, they're right. Let's storm the State House. Remember that? I want to storm the State House. Chain ourselves to the doors. Actually, Jeff Oakes wanted to chain himself to the door. I remember that one. I was with him on that one. Yeah. Johnny cares. Hold on. Johnny cares. That's your new name. Johnny, that's your new name. You're going from Johnny Trash to Johnny Cares.
At our newly arrived pill set, there are 430 pieces in total.
What's that? I don't know where that came from.
Is that a commercial?
I don't know. I better not have another virus attack here.
We don't have commercials on this show. We need some commercials. We need some more. Yeah.
If you change the R in Cares to K, you'd have Johnny Cakes. I just remember that from The Sopranos.
Johnny Cakes.
I mean, it keeps morphing. Hey, why, Johnny? Why aren't you the fourth square here? While we're waiting.
Yeah, Johnny, how come you're not joining us today? Make it the Brady Bunch at least. Our Brady Bunch thing here.
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, it should border on mandatory.
The sativa bunch. You know, we could have a board meeting. If Johnny joins us, we can have a board meeting, which I love.
Yeah, we could do that.
I love it.
Well, I did something today I haven't done in a long time. I didn't smoke anything till just before this.
Tell Johnny to jump on.
I forgot.
Johnny knows.
I just didn't. That's my problem. I didn't even remember to do that. So anyway, that's why that first smoke of the day. I don't like to do that in public, but I was just having that and stopping my cough when I got on.
Look at this. Bernie Sanders is having a massive North Carolina rally.
Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
There you go.
Hi, Johnny.
Oh, we're balanced. Look at this. We're balanced now.
The Brady Bunch.
This is where I wait a minute. Oh yeah, I look at you over here. Hey, there you are. You know, and yeah, and could work it out. I get a joint, you get a joint, and I'll do this. I'll go, and I'll pass it over to you, and then you grab it. Yeah. Yeah, the up one still works. You know, I could pass the joint to see Lefty. We do fist bumps. There you go. Hey, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Where's the frame at?
Apologies if we have to move quickly here due to the time.
Who's that?
AOC.
Yeah, there's a lot of court proceedings today. Zuckerberg was on the stand.
Yeah, I know. For social media addiction.
Oh, yeah. What about
And
that?
Prince Andrew is under arrest. He was arrested.
Oh, yeah, that's something. You know, that's totally already devolving into, see, they take care of shit in England, man. What's up here?
Mm-hmm.
You know? How'd they beat us to the first consequence for somebody? You know? Oh, you watch. It's gonna. I feel this. I got the vision to feel that one coming, you know. And people who don't want to let go and shouldn't let go. It's an amazing thing to me. Never mind what I think about the players, but for somebody to be, we need to stop talking about Epstein. We need to move on. Well, that's not moving on. Saying that. That's keeping the fuse lit. The problem for them is like, how do you have a fist fight with a masochist?
You don't.
No, you don't. Because I saw that in a movie. And no, it's a metaphor beyond that. And I've used it for years now. It was an older movie. And a guy did whatever and was getting beat up. And a black and white movie back when they were almost all black and white on TV. And the thing is, he was that guy. And the more he got hit, the more he was getting off, you know. Ooh, you know.
Well, that's what you got to do.
But then it's like, what do? You can't stop fighting and say, "I'll fart in your general direction" with any emphasis. I mean, it was funny on Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail, but it's just an insult. So that's kind of like it's really kind of fun. Matter of fact, I'll tune into the BBC because that's their home turf. And
in that editorial at the time, they stated that there are no real noticeable evidentiary health
This
risks
is going on right now.
to marijuana use.
I was looking. I didn't see any mouths moving here.
Turn it up.
With the title, "It's time
Let's see if I can.
to admit that it has a problem with marijuana." Over 18 million Americans use THC more than 21 days a month, and there's increasing evidence that it has connections to psychosis,
32 days.
mental health issues.
That was a New York Times journalist talking.
You know what? Wow, there's also a lot of things that even if that's actually a true statement, somebody should be concerned about. It involves a whole lot more than marijuana. That comes from just about.
Here's
Okay.
the opinion article today on the Times. It's time for America to admit. Come on, get out of my. America. Time for America to admit it has a marijuana problem. All right, if I could get rid of this, I can see what it says.
There is a problem with everything I take, put into my mouth, whether it's salt, that could be a problem. Everything could, it's the degree, and then you got to balance out the problem with anything good that might be from the same action. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should never kill somebody, but what if he's about to kill somebody and you kill him, stop him from killing that person? Is that wrong? It's along those lines.
But they're even putting that on the jars of concentrates from the dispensary now. It says, warning, may cause psychosis on the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
I've always said, way back when, I say, look, before legalization, everybody's saying we're wrong with it. Put a black box warning on it like they do with like cigarettes or something and continue. But make sure that's that person's choice. So it's not so much a matter of that it does. The problem is
I'm going to interrupt you. I have a New York Times reporter who will write about cannabis legalization. Her name is Ashley Southhill. Let me see.
What's her last name? I got a joke.
Southall.
Oh, okay. I had a good joke if it was something else, but never mind.
What was your joke?
Southpaw.
No. Well, yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. I was thinking of a different south on a person's anatomy, but I can't stop it. It's just Carnival throws this shit out in my head. And
this chick is good because she's really, she really is talking about the media criticism when it comes to cannabis reporting and that the stigma is still alive, blah, blah, blah. And she wants to weigh on where editorial makes some good points and where it falls short. So she's going to be our girl.
Well, that's a good place to start. Might finish.
Okay, so we've got to start.
Yeah.
Now.
I'll get you an outline real quick. Well, like tomorrow, quick,
The Jim Miller Minute.
Okay. Ashley Southwell. Let me write her in here. In my little ways of.
Gee, the outline's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's just bullet points.
No, I did at one point in 2005. I was doing 2004. I was doing a lot of writing as my first year alone, and I had not an outline, but I had a list of things that would be worth writing about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't need a list though.
No,
right? Because I know how you can. I know how you write.
Well, yeah, but the
short
outline.
And sweet.
What is an outline?
Thanks, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Lefty.
Okay, listen.
Yay!
What is an outline, though? I mean,
bullet points. Jim.
Oh, don't.
No. Listen, no. Okay. First of all, I'm not. I'm generally.
You're one of the smartest men I know.
I'm generally perplexed, so like,
you're perplexed?
I don't like intimate that maybe I'm being cute, because I'm not. I'm actually feeling quite deficient. I'm being serious.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to understand, I'm trying to draw nothing out.
Okay.
Like to stick
An outline is a tool that allows users to create their own private and blocking resistant server.
What is it I'm supposed to get to you? I mean, you're saying
you're gonna outline your story. Okay, outline your story, and then what we want.
The outline is a list of things.
Bullet points, Jim.
Bullet points.
Thank
There you go.
Thank you, Johnny.
Well, but that's that's what the outline
Jim, don't
is.
make this. It's
The
not that
outline
hard.
is first of all, we're all agreeing
It's
here.
a summary of something, right?
Yes, you do one line here, then you
Yeah.
go here, then you go here, then you go here, and then you go back over here.
A summary of bullet points.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
see that.
you
I
could do-
understand.
Just
Come
a
on.
flow chart of ideas, Jim. Just a
Okay, yeah.
tree of ideas.
Your main points. What do you want to get across? Okay, without going into big Jim details.
Well, I want to get
Big
across the
Jim
point that this
details.
bill should be heard. That's all I'm about, is a bill being heard. What points do I need to make? You tell me. What points do I need to make?
What do you want me to tell you?
Well, basically,
the outline is going to be a skeleton of your ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, without the skin.
Okay, then I can send them to you, and you'll probably have to ask me about what each one means, because they're just going to be a flash. I'm going to throw it. Yeah, I can do that. I could start doing it while we're doing this.
There you go, Jim.
Since we don't have a guest.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, help me out. Let's go. Let's get to work on it right now.
No, you're doing the outline. Logical, 1 point at a time. Okay.
Here, Jim. Here's a pen. I'll pass
Don't
it
jump
over to you.
around. All right.
Here's a
You got to
pen.
follow kind of following like a grid.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a timeline. I mean,
like a roadmap, like you're driving somewhere. Okay. So you get in the car, you drive to point A to get to point B, that kind of.
and stuff
That way
happens.
so you can get to point THC.
Ooh.
Okay. No rambling. Right. And again, you're being laughed at. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
That was a good one.
Really?
It's the Jim Miller Minute.
Yeah, right. See, that's funny. The Miller Minute. Yeah.
It's Miller time.
I
with
think
Jim.
the Miller Minute's 5 minutes long.
When you do,
That's fine.
when you do an outline, what it does? It organizes your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we can make a little package out of it.
This is just to give you direction, to give you direction on where you want my direction to be, and rather than try. I mean, this has been a good start, but now the only way to continue it would be for you to look at something and say, okay, here's what I need next, not this, but this, and I have to get this part to you quick.
Well, yeah, because you're going to do the outline, then I send you back a rough draft, and then you add or delete, okay? But we still stay on the single main idea.
No, we'll stay on whatever it is you suggest. See, that's what makes it easy for me. I don't have to. So
but you have the facts and the details. I don't have that.
I know. So I give them to you, and you throw out what needs to be thrown out, and keep the rest. Yeah, I'm good with that. And if you had to throw out 9 out of 10 things for us to get a direction, I'm good with that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with one thing.
To sing the first step in a long journey. Yeah.
Jim.
Starts with a single step or a diving board.
Moment with Jim.
Should be doing a little soft shit,
It's Miller time with Jim Miller. Welcome to the Jim Miller Show.
Yeah.
And you talk over this. Hi, I'm Jim Miller.
We tried that at one of the earlier podcasts. Dan Brady plays a cool little finger picking guitars type stuff.
Dan Brady, God, I haven't heard his name in a long time.
Yeah, he's been dead for like 5 years, 6, 7. Anyway, he would do that, and it was a cool little sound. So one time he did that, and I just went into talking about something, like the music was the background for it, how, I've heard done before. And, I remember it was fun to do because you got to say the things you wanted to say, but also pause to let that carnival train go by with all the suggestions of what I would want to meander through. And that we called it our Telling It Like It. At the time, it was the Telling It Like It Is podcast, because he had the Telling It Like It Is tour when he was running for president, himself when he wanted the nomination. So my theory was, well, we appropriate it, and then if you want to complain, you can come and complain on the podcast, and we'll call it something else. But I was, saying it more like Tom Bodette, the guy that used to do the Motel 6 commercial. Stop on by, we'll legal that down for you, or whatever, I was doing that. So yeah, a little musical background and
Motel 6, we'll
telling a
leave the
story.
light on.
Yeah, right, that one. But how that little everyman voice that he had, down home sort of thing, he had that recognizable voice, you could. Guy who would not worry about.
Well, like the Micro Machines guy.
I had an experience at a Motel 6 because they were cheap, and when Cheryl and I moved to Texas, well, we didn't have any plans. We actually took everything, like the Beverly Hillbillies, in a trailer behind a truck, and went there to find a place to stay so I could find a job. No other plans. A brother living there, and the first night at a Motel 6, and it was hot, air conditioning didn't work, and I found there's absolutely nothing wrong with, because the air conditioner was the last thing I packed into the little trailer thing, so I brought it out, and I had a big pan, I think, because we had some kitchen stuff, and I had like a big turkey pan with the sides on it to gather the condensation. I simply brought it in, put the pan on, put it in that, turned it on. The room as cool as could be. Now, I don't know if that's illegal, but it was cool.
Okay, so listen. So back to what we were talking about. So this is what you need to do when you do your outline. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Got it.
Intro. How you see an intro going. Just all you got to do is throw a jumble of words at me, and I'll make it into an intro.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just going to send something. The worst case scenario is, Jim, that's not what I'm talking about. I go, sorry.
But you also need, don't forget, I lived in New York for 20 years, so I need some supporting details that you might assume I already know, and I don't.
Okay, like you said, we need to have this, like say a week, I said we need to do it soon and get it a week. If I send something to you once a day for a week.
No, don't send me anything once a day for a week.
Well, no, it could be like a rewrite. No, Jim, that's
no. You send the whole thing.
Now
you send your outline.
Now I'm scared.
Write it on Post-its.
Yeah.
Yeah, stickies. Yeah, sticky pads. Just stick them all around, and then we can make a little mosaic out of it.
Yeah, then you write your little idea on the Post-it and stick that there, and then write another one, stick it there. Then you come back. There's your bullet points.
Okay. That's not hard.
Yeah, if I'm telling a story.
But Jim will make it hard.
No. Jim will make it hard to make it right. To make it right, yes, I will.
Yeah, I know. It's been so right for the past 20 years. Okay.
You don't want to get in this one with me right now. You really don't. Let's change directions pretty quick, okay? I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. I'm being serious.
It's 5:30. Johnny has an announcement to make.
Go ahead, Johnny.
This concludes our podcast.
You do that pretty good.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
And Jim, don't be all mad. I wasn't trying to. I was joking with you.
Is what it is.
So what? You're going to pout now?
No, I'm ending it now because
okay.
it's not going to be productive.
Okay, so just do the outline. Okay, we've gotten that far. Just do the outline.
Yeah.
Get to work. Well, thank you,
Okay.
Mad Hatter. Thank you, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org. And we have a
Okay.
list coming for you.
You're
This is
a
a
fan.
very unhappy list.
Yeah, that's what I need right now.
This is what you all need, a nice jolt of reality for your ass. Here's some reality for you.
What's the matter with my phone?
1 out of 10 patients die every year. Oh,
Nah.
every day. Sorry, every day.
I'm good with the reality. I was smoking some earlier.
Ah. Well,
Our list begins with Cheryl, Sabina, Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Holly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, LaWanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne, Waxy, Joe Marie, Jeff.
Miss them all.
Hey, listen, when we do the ode, when you guys do it, I think only one person should do it because when we all three of us do it, it's just it's a delay and it doesn't sound right. So maybe well,
Get a better sound guy.
why don't you guys do it and I'll stay back and you two do it. How about that?
no, I'm not in tonight. I want to hear somebody do it. I'm not gonna.
Okay, I'll do it then.
I've had enough.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you at Cannabis Church on Sunday. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. And let me just interrupt this for 1 second. Will Philly had his dance party in Cranford the other night. He got on a soapbox and actually had a dance party to celebrate the First Amendment. He wasn't disrupting the meeting. It was his 3 minutes to speak. He could do whatever he wants. And I really love that he went with songs to the battle. Thank you, Will. And Mike, they shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, or the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Don't know how you do it every week.
Sometimes I don't know. I'm on the road half the time now. My Jeep broke down, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm driving all over Jersey. But I'll see you guys later.